sunshine behind me. I feel like I got a halo. I think we're gonna have to. Hi, welcome to Flying for Flavor.
Yeah. Hi, welcome.
We're in my windy patio. It was not windy this morning. I swear to God, it was not windy. But cheers. I figured we were talking about bugs today. We should be outside.
Swatting them.
And my hair's blowing in my face, but that's okay. Because we are going camping in a couple of weeks. And I'm used to the outdoors. Yes. Not like the rest of them.
I'm not.
But I just thought it was timely, especially with all the heat and the changes in weather. And we're going from hot and sunny to like cool and windy and rainy. Like it's just been like this crazy thing. We're not getting a ton of rain, but when there's a lot of rain or things get cool, that's when like mosquitoes multiply, right? And then, you know, it's that balance of the heat and then water and anyways, it's a good idea to protect yourself. I heard that I think there's a big ticks thing again this year.
Yes, I've seen that. Yes. Yeah. I wonder if they die off with the heat as well.
I don't know. If it is so, bring it on. I was going to say what we're drinking today because we haven't done that in a while. So we're drinking, this is a Quail's Gate Chardonnay.
Oh, yum.
From BC. So yeah, it's one of Norm's favorites and he had it open in the fridge. And you can't see it if you're listening to the audio podcast, but I'm using the Brewmate wine insulator. It is very cool. Because with this hot weather, trying to keep wine to the right temperature, I don't want to put ice in it. I don't want to, I mean, yes, they have all these really new cool things that you can freeze and throw in, but not the coolest idea. I mean, I want the wine as is. Right. So I've tried the insulated cups before, but I just hadn't tried this insulated wine thing. So yeah.
Oh,
it's nice,
it's like tinny.
Yeah, so it's metal, but the cool thing is, I guess the way that it's coated on the inside, it's not going to change the flavor of your wine. So it's not like those metal insulated coolers that you'd get that metallic taste to it.
Right.
So it does hold like a standard bottle of wine, which is great. So all you have to do is, especially if you're on the go someplace, if you're on the go and you need to take your wine with you.
No sippy cups required.
And then I just wanted little nuts and stuff this afternoon. So that's the wine bar mix. I think you've had that before. And then this is just a fruit and nut mix that I had in there. And then these.
Ooh.
These I cleaned out HomeSense for the other day. So these are lemon almonds.
Oh my gosh.
They taste like a lemon pie.
They do.
It's like the almond, and there's like a tint, not quite vanilla, but that sweet lemon stuff coating on the outside.
We have to try making those again. See if we can replicate them.
I'm wondering what would be on the coating of it, eh? But yeah, they're addictive.
That would be so yummy.
Like this has been good enough for dessert. So when I was at HomeSense the other day, I happened to go by the aisle and I saw they had 3. Grabbed all 3 bags. So I'll try to put a link and see if I can find it online because the company is called, I think, Almond Brothers, which I thought was kind of funny.
We should have a song come in right now. Edit song.
Put in the Almond Brothers. However, so they have the lemon ones, but they also have a cappuccino and cocoa ones as well, which I haven't opened yet.
That'd be interesting.
So I don't know what other makes they have, but if you can find these lemon ones, like, oh my God.
They're very refreshing.
Yeah, it's like dessert, and especially with white wine or something. Some of the other stuff I find a little heavy, but that's really good.
Yeah. Interesting.
Anyways, there's my little treats for the day.
Yum.
All right, bugs.
Bugs.
So, of course, we're going to see them when we're camping because it's even in my backyard here. But I also want to talk about travel because this is a travel show after all. So, yes, I'm outside camping. A lot of people are going to destinations to go hiking this time of year. Basically, anywhere that's heavily wooded, you're going to run into bug issue, right? Even when we were, when Cynthia and I were down in Prince Edward County, a lot of the wineries, they're backed onto regular fields.
Oh, so they're going to have
creeks and stuff. So yeah, there was bugs out there in the wineries too. So even if you're going to wine regions, you still have to tackle them. And then of course islands and resorts. So as much as everyone thinks, oh, you know, I'm going to Mexico, I'm going here, they still have bugs too.
Oh yeah, you just don't see the fogging happening early in the morning.
Well,
some people do. I've seen that.
And then you're like going, oh my God, it's disgusting. So yes, they use the big sprays. So that gets rid of a lot of the mosquitoes part of it. But for me, I think there's something to do with blood types. I always heard that some people attract bugs more than others.
Sweet blood versus...
Yeah, I must be like sugar. So bugs love me. So Norm and I can both be walking a beach someplace, and I'm the one with the sand flea bites, and he's not.
I'm bad for the sand bites, like the no-see-ums and those things bug me, but when I'm outside in and around, like, let's say, a backyard or something that's wooded more than what yours is, I won't be. I find other people end up getting the bugs, and I'm okay with that. You can take them.
Okay, well, I'll take them from you. That's
okay,
my
I'm
job.
Sorry.
That's okay.
You can have them.
But yeah, so mosquitoes, black flies, but almost all of them, they tend to gravitate towards me. So usually I'll find them first, or they find me first. So I've always been very diligent about having all of the little tools to protect myself, partly because a lot of times people develop allergies. 'Cause essentially, your reaction to a bug bite is actually an form of allergy anyways.
Yep.
So I tend to protect myself to make sure that I don't overreact. And it partly has to do with the fact that I know my mom, I think it was later in life, I want to say she was probably close to 40, and all of a sudden deer flies, black flies, hornets, yellow jackets, now a sting, she has to carry an EpiPen with her.
Oh, wow.
Which she's never had. Most people either have it or they don't.
Right.
And she found it got worse when she got older.
Okay.
And so I'm now paranoid because I know there's been a couple times where, there's a few years in a row where I just thought, oh, mosquitoes are bothering me, it's not a big deal, I'll put on some bug spray and I'll be fine. And then there was a few summers in a row where I would get stung like on the foot.
Oh.
Like I'd wear flip-flops, right? You have jeans or track shorts or something on, and flip-flops. And as much as you spray everywhere, you don't always spray your feet, right? And one little deer fly bite, my foot blows up. And so now it makes me worried because for my mother, if she gets stung anywhere from the shoulders, above her shoulders, that's where she causes problems because that can block her airway and stuff like that. So it's one of those things that I've always been, lately have
Cautious
been more,
about.
Yeah. So, and then you said you don't really, you're so lucky.
But you know what though, when I get them, I've gotten them because they take over my whole arm or my leg, and a lot of the times when I do get bit, they bite up under my hairline, and then you end up with like these big blotches and what are they, the black flies? The black flies are the worst for me.
Well, and I do know that they tend to gravitate. It's like darker colors, and bright colors make a difference. I was wearing a white sundress when I was working outside today, and aside from maybe my legs, the only time they were bothering me is where my skin was exposed.
Oh, okay.
Right? Because I'm not exactly white. I'm beige. Beige-ish. So
I'm trying to get to that color this summer. I don't know.
Well, no,
Casper.
You look pretty dark because you're out in the water this weekend, right?
Yeah.
And I'm staying out of the sun as much as I can. But I've been noticing that, yes, the darker colors really make a difference. And then for you, the same thing. Your hair is much darker, and so of course that's where they attract, right?
Family home goes on up there. I'm like, the next day I'm still scratching at night. I think, did I get them all out? Oh no, I thought a shower would have worked, but no, they're roaming around in my scalp. So
that's hilarious.
They like breed. So they breed and they leave it there.
Oh my God, hatching. Yuck. All right, so there's all kinds of ways. So I don't know what tips you have to sort of protect yourselves, but we said dark colors, so light colors always go better. If you're gonna, for clothing, those loose flowy things. So if you have like those long sleeve white, like you see them wearing on all those beach commercials.
Oh yeah,
right, the big
they're
flowy
so
pants and stuff. Yeah, they're really pretty.
They're pretty.
And because there's more space between the fabric and your skin, it's more difficult for them.
Really? I would think that they would just come on up and find a space.
Well, it depends on how fluid those pants are, right?
Or even your arms. I always think, oh, they're going to get under.
Yeah, but they don't. They're kind of lazy that way. Yeah. They want to get through, right?
They like easy access.
They do. If you're going to use bug spray, stuff with DEET, of course.
Absolutely.
I have two that I keep. I keep smaller ones around because this way I can leave a couple
floating around
or in pockets and in suitcases when I'm traveling.
Car.
So of course, I don't know if it's the same thing down the States, but Off is the big one here. Deep Woods is the big one. And I found it, you can get it in a, I don't have that one there. There's another one there. It's like a little personal sized spray. No, that's my, that's my,
this guy.
Yeah, you can tell how many things I've got out
here. It's all good here.
Yeah, so this is the little personal size, and it's got the little clip, like, you put your pen pocket protector, right? Yeah. So you can put it on a belt loop or something like that to take with you. And then there's just the standard small spray. Yep. And then this is an after bite.
Oh, I like that stuff.
Yeah, I'm finding this one either it's losing its potency after a while, or it doesn't work for me.
Okay.
There used to be an old brand. Again, I'm gonna have to find the link. When I was younger, it used to sting, but it worked, and it was called Absorbin Junior.
Yes.
You know that stuff? It was green in a bottle with that squishy top.
Yeah, the squishy thing.
It always helped with itching.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah.
That was my go-to, and it would stink for a while, but at least it would stop the itch.
I think they used to use it for other things as well, right?
It was like an antiseptic type thing, like a polysporin or whatever, but it works.
I've tried, in talking about bug spray, I tried to be go natural this year, and had a chance to try it over the May long weekend. The citronella spray with the lavender and everything. And I'm a big proponent of essential oils and things like that, and trying to keep the chemicals out. It didn't work. I ended up with more. I think when I put this stuff on, it attracted them more than it actually And I hate to say that, because I know everyone out there, you might have an issue with it, but if it works, it works.
I think the citronella is supposed to work. Yeah. I think the problem is that when nobody likes the smell of it, so they try to pretty it up with all the other things.
They're like, what's that, lavender?
Yeah, it's like,
I'm coming to get you.
Bugs tend to look for flowers, so don't make it flower scented. So behind you can't see it in the video, but I have a citronella plant. Yes. And every year I've been doing that. I go to the, Lowe's garden department or something. Mm-hmm. And at the beginning of the season, just along with all of those little tomato plants that you're starting to buy or anything else, you can buy citronella plants. Mm-hmm. So I'll tuck them here and there throughout. There's another one at the far end over here, and I always have a couple up on top. Mm-hmm. So this way, I figure between that and then having my bug spray, there's those off lamp things. They don't really work that well. No. Either. Sorry, off lamp, but there's not, I don't know.
The ones that you put the little replacement thing in, you set it?
Yeah, the little lamp things. Like this is the personal fan one, where it's also by off, but it's got a switch and a battery operated, and then you just change the cartridges. And again, it fits on a belt loop or something.
How do you find that works?
This one's not bad, but I always find that I need to keep it really close to me. Yeah. And it is really quiet, because you can barely hear it. See?
Oh.
See, I'm putting it near the microphone so you can barely hear it. So it is nice and quiet, as opposed to, another personal fan that's like, wah. But fans do make a difference, so wind helps. So I always have, we always keep a regular electric fan out here in the summer, as much as you have air conditioning in the house, perhaps. But even outside, having that breeze does keep the bugs away. Gives them it's harder for them to actually land anywhere if they're getting blown around, right?
Yes.
I know that earlier this spring, we don't usually buy them, but the mosquitoes and black flies were insane out at the French River.
Absolutely.
So when there was one weekend, Norm had to go out, and I know he was going to mow the lawn, and he found, he stopped in on his way back from Ottawa once, and he said, just for him going in and out of the cottage, he said he was eaten alive. So he actually went and got one of those netted...
Yeah, the head covers.
It wasn't just a head cover. Yeah, it was like he had a full-on netted suit.
Yeah, that's perfect.
So he basically put that over top of his shorts and his t-shirt, which kind of protected him. He still said it was a little scary because you can actually see them trying to get through the netting.
Through the netting.
But
he said it's warm.
But it is. But at least
But it keeps you protected.
Yeah. So at least he got through the. He goes. I look so funny. I try to mow the lawn with this big thing on, but it worked.
Absolutely.
So I said there's repellent fans. So other fans. So even if you have just a regular circulating fan of some sort, that will kind of help as well, especially if you don't want to be using all the chemical stuff. Standing water is a big no-no.
Oh yeah.
Especially for mosquitoes that they tend to gravitate towards. So we had I'm trying to remember if it was it here when we first moved here, because the cedars hadn't grown in so much, we had one of those little fountain things to distract from the sound of the traffic going by. Yep. So we could forget there was traffic there, because we're in a corner lot, a busy one at that.
Yes.
Hence that you didn't miss it, but we actually had to edit out some vehicle noises earlier.
Yes.
But I'm noticing that once we removed those extra water things, I find we have less bugs. So even though the fountain was on an ongoing basis, it was when we're out here, we didn't have it on otherwise, right?
Right.
So there's still dampness and wet.
Still happening, sitting in there.
Yeah. So, and it's same thing with those rain barrels and collectors.
Right.
So we have one that's on the far side of the house. Instead of getting one of those big fancy ones, we just took an old rubber, because my dad figured out how to do this, an old rubber, like a garbage can.
Oh, yeah.
So we have it tucked right beside where our hose is. Okay. And it's a reminder every time I go, but it's far away from everyone sits.
Perfect. Yes.
Right. So and it hasn't been too bad yet. But again, I would if I can get away with it. But I'm trying to be environmentally conscious. All my watering of all my plants.
Yes.
The sand fleas. When we're in a resort, I too bring bug spray with me on trips. Yeah. I know that we were in South Africa, and it was actually came with the hotel rooms.
Very nice.
they were either had them in like little individual like wet one wipes, or they actually had like a small like a cream type based one, but they provided it to you
that's wonderful.
because you needed it, right?
Yes.
And I thought that's a great idea. So if you happen to be owning a lodging place and if you can find these little individual ones or smaller ones, just like you would supply toiletries,
right?
I think that would be people would be commenting, right, on what a great idea that is, because even though, yes, you're spraying down for bugs across the resort, people go off the resort.
Oh, yes.
Right? And, and you're always trying to sell them on all those four-wheel and Jeep adventure tour things, right?
Yes.
Zip lining through the jungles.
Yeah.
And then all these beach things, of course, because you're in the sand and the water and everything else, it does tend to bottle up. And if you attract bugs like I do, you're going to get eaten alive.
And I find too, when you're on those, any kind of like an excursion or off resort, you're kind of forgetting about what can happen. And I think that leads back to another episode that we did, but you forget that you still are susceptible to everything that would happen to you at home, bugs, crime, all of this other stuff.
Yeah.
So you have to be careful. You have to be careful when you're crossing the street. You just can't randomly walk across. It's not like a crosswalk happening. You know what I mean? It's just those kinds of things. And
yeah, that's actually good. That's actually a whole episode.
Yeah.
On trying and being aware.
Being aware.
Because I think one of the things it gets you excited that when you go away on vacation and you do forget that you're still a human being and you're still fallible. And
you can break things while you're there.
And you can still hurt yourself or get in trouble.
So many stories.
And then my biggest tip that I religiously, I haven't actually taken mine yet, is antihistamine. So I've noticed that because, again, I get eaten alive, even with that, occasionally I'll miss a spot because you can't really coat yourself in bug repellent, right, when you're outside. So if I do get I will take one, usually if I take one once a day during peak season when I'm spending more time outside, I'm usually okay. If I can tell when I forgot, because all of a sudden that one little mosquito bite's starting to drive me bonkers. And then it's almost like a hive, right? Where it's starting to swell and I start getting really itchy. But it's amazing how quickly I can take that antihistamine pill and how within an hour or so I'm not scratching anymore. Yes. So it is a miracle drug.
Yes.
So if you,
depending
on where you're listening from, if you can't get it over the counter, or if you don't have it through a benefits plan or anything that you're using, actually check with it. So if you are on some kind of an insurance plan, check with your doctor. Surprisingly, a lot of them, I know my mother gets a prescription for hers, so she doesn't have to pay over the counter prices for it. Nice. So because she has to take one, and she'll even take a half of one a day. Yeah. Right? Because she said it's not that she needs a full antihistamine, but she said a little bit here and there is really making a difference.
Definitely is allergy season for sure. I find I feel like I've got a head cold going on and I don't.
Yeah.
It's just allergies.
I know.
Yeah. Well, bugs and allergies go hand in hand.
Well,
there we go.
There we go. Not to mention like bugs carry things. And, and that's a gross thing. It's all a thing. I know. So that's the whole tips. If you have any other tips that you want to share about how you either protect yourself from bugs when you're traveling, if there are special creams, lotions, things that are not chemical based that maybe are better than that other one that she tried. We're always interested in hearing about them, and then we'll share them with our listeners and viewers. And don't forget, we are now, if you haven't watching on social media, we are on a 2-week schedule. So every 2 weeks. So which means our next episode, it's going to be on mocktails, which is fun. So cocktails without alcohol is actually a very trendy thing right now. So we're going to be airing that episode on Saturday, July 27th, which also coincidentally is the day we're camping. Woo! Yes. So we'll be of course, taping that ahead of time, and then you can watch us drink all of the alcoholic versions online for a couple of days. So we'll be spending 3 days, 2 nights at a provincial park here in Ontario. We'll be taping clips and stuff, and then we'll put together an entire episode about all the fun ways you can upgrade yourself with the camping and all the things to, and then we'll recap the bugs things for people. Yes. And then we'll have and then all the little recipes and things that we make that time, we'll be able to share them with you. So that you can plan your own camping trip for the end of the weekend.
And some really yummy recipes as well.
Oh yeah, we're stockpiling them. Yes. I don't know how we're going to eat all that. There's not that many of us. But
it's going to be fun.
It's going to be fun.
So I'll keep eating all the time. But you know what? In the meantime, please rate and subscribe to our iTunes or your iTunes. You see, something's going to happen. Something's got to happen.
Kicking in.
iTunes are your favorite podcast player, and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and share. Hey, I'm getting better.
It's getting better.
I'm getting better.
I said I want to get you completely tanked when we're camping.
And try it.
And then try it. Oh, and speaking
probably
of,
do better.
Speaking of before we toast, your little peeing in the bush thing just came in the other day. You remember you told me?
I can't wait.
You'll have to wait and follow and find out what that is.
I hope I can keep it afterwards.
Oh, you're not giving it back. Gross. Until next
Cheers.
week. Cheers.
Bye.